Everybody needs one man. So, where was I? Oh man, what a beautiful view. Have I shown you this view yet? What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, Building a Farmhouse from Scratch. If you're new here, my name is Mike and this is episode 14 I believe. And today we will be installing our kitchen cabinets. As you saw last week, I got them rough installed so we can get the countertops measured and the template made so we can get that in process because they're about 2 weeks out. So now what I'm gonna do is unscrew them, pull them back out, hang the uppers correctly, and then install the lowers correctly. So thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully today will be a fun day along with anything else that pops up. Good morning.
What you got in your hand?
Please.
You here to work?
No.
No, you're not gonna help me work? We gotta put the kitchen cabinets in today.
I'm here to help you work.
You're here to help me work?
I'm here to help you.
Oh my gosh. Hey, babe.
Hey, honey.
Before we get started with the cabinets, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of update for the week. As you saw in the beginning, we got our propane tank installed. That company did awesome. We buried a 250 gallon propane tank. So it's pretty simple. It's a brand new tank they buried. You got your gauge right here, your on and off valve, and then your, I think the high pressure regulator that's called. And they buried a copper line straight to the house. So that is pretty standard for the 250. That's what they recommended because it's pretty much the same cost to have them come out like every couple of months. They have a program and that they enter into their system, and it'll actually learn your frequency of use on your propane. So it doesn't cost any extra, so you can just get on their schedule. And they said usually they'll come out like anywhere from 2 to 4 months and just automatically top it off. Send us a bill. It's the same price per gallon. So that's what we're gonna go with. That was kind of a no-brainer. And then we ended up just leasing the tank. So your options on the propane tanks are buying or leasing. Our lease option for this one that we have was $140 a year. So the cost on the propane tanks to buy one, now it's ridiculous because they're hard to find. So they're upwards of like $2,000. So again, no brainer just to lease it. As you can see behind me, that's where they tied into the house for the propane. And as you can also see, we got some new jewelry outside. Those are the heat pump and AC units. They got installed, our outdoor units. There's 2 of them. So as I was saying before, this behind me is kind of our utility wall. The laundry room is right there. So we are going to put a fence up, a little privacy fence, and cover these up with like an 8-foot little section. So that's why I try to keep everything right there, and that's where the hot water heater will be mounted as well. So those are a few of the things that have gotten done this week. Definitely starting to speed up and check off all those little things that are kind of been like 80% done. You know, everybody's showing up to kind of finish their jobs off now. So with that being said, that's a quick update of what has happened this week, and now let's get started on these kitchen cabinets. The cabinets we picked out are pretty standard. We have 9-foot ceilings, and our base cabinets are always going to be the same height. And then you have the option on your uppers, pretty much just like 30 inches, 36, and 42s, I believe. We got 42 inches. Traditionally with an 8-foot ceiling, those would go from your standard counter height all the way to the ceiling. With 9-foot ceilings, the 42s will leave a 11 to 12 inch gap up top that you can either leave open or finish off a crown. We chose to spend a little extra money on more quality cabinets now up front, and then to finish off the open crown on top of the uppers later down the road. 34 and a half. So that means 36 plus 18 would be 54. So that added together is 54. So I put a mark on the wall at 54 inches, and I'm gonna hook up my laser level. I'm gonna throw a line on the wall, and that is how we are going to set the uppers. That simple. level. The uppers are installed.
They look so good.
Yeah, it actually went pretty smooth. A little bit of YouTube research prior and you can get anything done, right? So here it is. The only thing that is missing is the floating shelves right here on this end. Let's see, right here. Yeah, so we'll eventually add some floating shelves in the corners that wrap around to the edge of this window. But other than that, they look awesome. It really frames that window
So
good.
pretty. All right, let's move in.
All right, yeah, so we're almost there. So the tops are done now. Now I'm gonna put the bottoms back in position and face drill all those together and then shim them out, get them on the wall and get those complete. And then the kitchen cabinets will be 100%. So I got the cabinets all installed. It's the next day. Let me show you how I face screwed these things. So right here, you can see I countersunk right there. Countersunk a hole and then used a cabinet screw on each face that was connecting. And then I leveled them out, shimmed them out. Right here on the bottom, there's some shims. And then you just attach them to the studs in the back of the cabinet. That easy. Oh my Lord, have you seen this sink? So countertops are in. They did an awesome job. And this is the sink that the wife and I decided to go with. And we actually did the drop-in. So we stepped back in time and did a drop-in copper sink. Super cool. Now let's bring the island in. Pretty much the last piece to the kitchen. faucet.
It's the faucet. See?
Brass on brass. It's gold.
Alright, so this is the setup we got. We got this copper sink from Syncology, and we decided to do the drop-in method, and then we got this antique brass faucet from Kingston Kitchen and Bath. So, I really am loving the combo. Not typically what everyone would pick, but I think it fits the house really well, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty.
And
That
there's
is
gonna be a
pretty.
sprayer. We got a sprayer too. Hold on. It's really heavy. So it'll be like that.
That's pretty. All right, so the kitchen sink is in, the faucet's in. We are just a little obsessed with how it turned out.
We can't stop smiling.
It turned out beautiful, and I just opened the windows on each side of the range right there.
Are you kidding me? Are you
All
kidding
right,
me?
God, look at this view. So that is the kitchen view. So let me ask you, was doing all the extra window work and all that stuff that I did that you did not want me to do from the beginning,
What are you talking about?
was it worth it?
I agreed with that decision.
Was it worth it?
Yes. Yes. I can't even imagine a better kitchen.
Oh no, it is so beautiful. All right, one last thing. Let's move the Hosier cabinet in. Is it Hosier or Hoosier?
Hoosier?
Hoosier.
I don't know.
All right, our one main piece, as you guys saw in the earlier video last week, is our Hoosier cabinet. So we actually made in the kitchen, if you notice right here is the 45, the upper end cabinet. So it actually has a finished edge. And then down here, this panel that is missing, that is actually gonna have a finished panel, an end cap they call it as well. So that'll cover up that hole. And then we left this nook right here for the Hoosier cabinet. So let's move that baby in.
What it was telling me, like Robert Zimmerman singing a song, just gotta keep on keeping on.
In here. So that's perfect. So that's perfect, guys.
Perfect.
All right, guys, you know that feeling when you succeeded? Babe, do you like your kitchen?
I'm in love. Let's move in right now.
The Hosier cabinet fits perfectly. We are both in love with it.
Mama.
Yeah.
The wood just works out perfect. And Walter is already baking on it. And we just brought the island in. It's sitting right here. I still have a top for that. I did source that top. Old or antique, used, I guess you could say, as well. So we're gonna get the top on hopefully next week and get the island positioned. We still have to pick up a refrigerator. So we're gonna pick up our refrigerator first, which is going in this nook right here. Then when we get the refrigerator and the oven in, we will set the top on top of the island. And then that way we can position it to where it works perfectly. And other than that, what else is on the to-do list today, babe?
Dishwasher.
We have to get a dishwasher
That's
still.
not today. but-
That's right here.
And then we have to haul up the giant boys vanity upstairs.
Yeah, we gotta get the vanities
It's gonna be
upstairs.
really hard.
So that's next week, getting the vanities set up and done. And then we got the plumbers coming mid next week, and we have the electricians coming Thursday, I think. And they have to tie everything in. So that means
Might be
that
switched, but
might be switched, yeah. So that means beginning of next week, I have to get all the electrical and plumbing stuff ready that they have to tie in. So another week of business, and then hopefully we can move in one step closer.
one step.
Walter is loving that.
I know he's all
Hosier
about
cabinet.
it.
He's like gonna,
Look at him.
he's gonna be a baker. Walter,
Walter the baker.
you gonna be a baker? Yeah? Like mommy?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. That concludes this week's episode of Building a Farmhouse from Scratch.
Yes.
We will see you guys next week.